Hello everyone, my name is Tom. And before I start to introduce our topics, I want to show you some pictures first. It is the satellite image of Earth at night. We can see there are a lot of bright spots on the map, like on America, like Europe, Asia, and Taiwan. And this photo was taken in Shanghai at night. It's obviously quite different from our recognition of night. So what makes the night as bright as daytime? The answer is light. And what makes light glow? Electricity. Yes, that is electricity. Needless to say, electricity is important in this modern society. And it's also important for us to know how we can generate electricity, how it will affect our society, our health, our living by generating electricity. Therefore, in the next, we are going to show you several ways to produce electricity. Now I'm going to pass the microphone to Mark.
Okay, now I'm going to introduce a way of electricity generation, that is thermal power. First of all, I want to tell you the theory of thermal power. So, at first, because it is called thermal power, so of course it was worked by the fire. Yeah. So at the first procedure of electricity generating, it would burn fuel. The fuel may be oil, maybe gas, maybe coal, and then burn the fuel, making fire, and the fire would bring the water at a spoil, and making water turn out to be vapor, and then the vapor will make a blade operation. Last, the operation of the blade would give out the electricity. In this graph, we can find out that in the beginning, water takes charge of the most important role for electricity generating. However, with the time passing by, water going down gradually, and thermal starts going down relatively. In about 1960, thermal took charge of the main role of the electricity generation. Although thermal once lost its first place for the fast growing of nuclear power, it's still back to and keep number one to lately year. Look at this. We can much more easily let no let is still in charge of the 3/4 of Taiwanese electricity generating. Undeniably, thermal is the most important way of electricity generating nowadays, but there are always two sides to every door. Before Taichung thermal power plant be built, the death rate of tracheal and lung cancer was not so high. And we can find out that when the Taichung thermal power plant have worked for 10 years, the death rate has obviously skyrocketed. Yet, it is not hard for us to realize that the phenomenon. You know, we can burn anything without polluting air. Therefore, Nowadays, humans develop another way which would probably make less polluting, and Alan will talk about it.
Okay. After the introduction of thermal power by Mark, I believe all of you have a complete recognition of it. And next, I want to introduce another one energy which has been developed 50 years recently. Yes, this is nuclear power. And what's the nuclear power? In simply, the scientists use the substance uranium to occur the nuclear interaction to generate the high temperature, and the heat made the water boil to put the generator work and generate electricity. And look at this graph. It shows us the nuclear power only have 18% in the proportions of each way we use to generate electricity. And what's the trend of the nuclear power in the world? Actually, who knows? It's very different between every country. The only thing I can say is the nuclear power is still very important to the world now. Okay, and next, we are looking at the graph. It shows us the place where the Taiwan's nuclear power plant is. From the graph, we can know there are 3 plants in Taipei and 1 plant in Pingtung Hengchun. But because of the environment protector rejection and the nuclear accident in Japan in Fudao, the four plants stopped to build now. So only 3 plants are working to generate electricity. Okay, and now we are looking at the compare between Taiwan and Korea. From the graph, at first, we can know because of the successful application of nuclear, Taiwan have more machine and higher proportion to generate nuclear energy. But in recently, because of the environment protector strongly rejection, the proportion of nuclear energy is decreased generally. In a country, the number of machine and proportion is increased in Korea. Look at the number. After 2013, there are even more than 50% to generate energy. Wow, amazing. Okay, we know nuclear power is very useful, but the pollution is also awful. Just like the Japan Fudao accident. Rejection nuclear is a trend, become a trend now. So how to make a balance between environment and economy is the problem we need to face. Okay, next I give the microphone to Evan.
Hi, my name I'm Evan. Because of the high pollute, because of the high pollute bring by thermal power and nuclear power. In my part, I want to introduce a new trend of energy, that is renewable energy. And before we start, let me show some statistics first. And this graph shows the proportion of each way to generate energy. As you can see, renewable energy only have 4.9%, and I only want you to know is renewable energy is not natural at all. It's still a new technology. And what is renewable energy? And what is renewable means? It means recycle. This kind of energy will not exhaust it. It's unlimited or recycle rapidly. We can use it for a very long time, like solar energy, wind power, hydroelectricity power. And first, let's see the growing of renewable energy. And at first, you may think it's just a linear function, but when you see its vertical axis, you'll find the amount is growing up 10 times. So actually, it's growing rapidly. It will become bigger and bigger in future. And second, this graph shows the proportion of each way to generate energy in Germany. And in 1998, the biggest part is thermal power, and renewable energy is at the top. It's so small that you are hard to see it. But 10 years passed, renewable energy is growing 10 times and exceeds nuclear power. So, can you believe that renewable energy is a new trend of energy? But no matter how potential it is, it's still a new technology. So its cost is more expensive compared to traditional ways. And you can see the country use renewable energy is wealthy country like EU or US. And relatively poor country like South Africa doesn't have renewable energy at all. And this is a proof of immaturity of this technology. And renewable energy is not total natural friendly at all. It still has some negative impact on the earth. But it is the cleanest way we have. So renewable energy is the hope of global warming, or it's just another way we damage our earth. And I believe it's the former. Although it's not total natural friendly, but it is the best way to save the earth for now. And next, Tom will give you a conclusion about our topic.
Hello, it's Tom again. Electricity is important in our daily lives. It has almost dominated human behavior and life. For example, if there is a blackout, we can't do anything until it ends. And I have to have some example, just because if there is no electricity, the nightlife won't be so wonderful. And if there is no electricity, we can dry our hair after taking a shower. And the most frightening is that if there is no electricity, we can't use our smartphones anymore. After Alan and Mark's introduction, now we know so far there is no way that can produce electricity without any pollution. However, on the other hand, it's hard to imagine how life would be without electricity. Though the history of human use of electricity is about only 200 years, we are unable to live non-electricity lives. To find a balance between environmental pollution and convenience, I sincerely suggest that the conservation of electricity is the only pure permanent fuel. Thank you for listening.
Okay, question? So this is a wonderful presentation, and you give us a lot of example about how to produce the electricity in Taiwan, right? You talk about the case in Taiwan, and your last part you talk about the renewable energy. Can you give me some example? Can you give me some example about renewable energy?
What's this?
For instance, that you talk about like thermal, you talk about nuclear, and as for the new renewable energy, what would you suggest?
Solar energy.
Solar, but do you notice that the recent news coming out, there's even more toxins to our environment by using the solar power.
But it is more clean than the traditional ways. But we still have some negative effect on our nature. Yes.
Yeah, it is. So what would you suggest to our government? Or maybe to people? If we cannot find any replacements, what will we do?
Choose the best way. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not total clean, but it is our best way. Yes, for now.
You mean by using the solar power it will be the best way now?
Not solar power, just all kinds of renewable energy.
Okay. Right, it's difficult, right, you know? Okay, so thank you guys. This is clear. And one more issue is, at first you talk about the opening is pretty nice.